Hello guys, my name is Colin and this is Colin Talks Crypto. It is time to talk about Bitcoin. But first of all, let me get off this ridiculous hat because it is so hot here in Puerto Rico. There is no reason for me to be wearing a beanie cap. Bitcoin's price is surging above $39,000. Ethereum's price is surging above $1,200. In light of that, I'm going to do a bit of a fun experiment. I'm going to take a very, very small percentage of my crypto portfolio and I'm going to do something that I said I would never do and I recommended no one else do. I'm going to sell a percentage of it and I'm going to attempt to rebuy in lower during what I perceive to be an incoming price correction. Thank you for joining me. Nothing goes up forever, and that includes Bitcoin. I know as hard as it is to believe with the prices and the climbs we've been seeing recently. And the prices have just been climbing and climbing and climbing far, far beyond what I consider to be sustainable for that matter. And so what I'm going to do is place a fun bet, an intelligent gamble, something that is not for sure, and less than 2% of my portfolio. So I'm going to take Bitcoin, I'm going to take Ethereum, and I'm going to place these on an exchange and I'm going to sell them. I'm going to then place a buy order to try to scoop them back up at a lower price. And so why am I doing this? Because I think that the odds are in my favor. And like I said, I'm doing it with less than 2% of my total portfolio. So I consider this kind of a fun gamble. I do not recommend you try this at home. I do not recommend that you try to time the swings of the market, especially in a bull run. And that is why I'm keeping the predominance of my crypto portfolio just as it is in crypto. And I'm not going to be selling 98% of it because I'm going to just ride that to the top of the coming bull run. Because for the most part, the risk does not outweigh the benefit. And sure, you can be what they call a degenerate gambler and attempt to multiply your portfolio by like 50%, but you could also end up selling low and having to buy back in even higher and then losing 50% of your portfolio. So that is why I do not recommend this strategy. But for fun, I'm just going to take a look at it and we're going to do this. So the price that I've chosen to sell my first units of Bitcoin will be over $39,000, somewhere between $39,000 and $40,000. I'll be selling my Bitcoin, and I will be selling my Ethereum somewhere above $1,300. So at first I'm going to place those sell limit orders. And I've taken a look at the price charts and I've noticed that it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for the Bitcoin price to bottom out and to resume back to where it was during a bull market. These corrections can be fairly lengthy, and so I do expect 4 to 6 to maybe even 8 weeks for this correction to take place, especially in light of the fact that we have gone so far up and for so long, relatively speaking, without a single correction. And to me, that's kind of a red flag. I guess I'll call it a green flag because it's a good thing. The price has shot up so tremendously. But this green flag is alerting me to the fact that we are going to see a correction. I know you guys get that starry-eyed look, and I get it too, when you see the prices going up and up and up, and then you think it'll stop at 25,000, and then it goes to 30,000, and you think it'll stop at 35,000, but then it goes to 38,000, and then you just start going, well, maybe it just won't stop. Well, I'm here to tell you guys that the dream is not always the reality. It will stop at some point. Someone's going to start to sell, and that will at some point trigger the avalanche of the correction. Now, historically speaking, the corrections in a bull run tend to be anywhere from like the high 20% to the high 30%. So when I sell my Bitcoin and my Ethereum, I'm going to set my buy orders after that at about 30% below where I sold. And I think I'm going to use 30% for Bitcoin below where I sell it at, and I'm going to use 35% for Ethereum because Ethereum and altcoins tend to have a bigger percentage drop when you do enter into a correction or whenever Bitcoin's price drops. Usually Ethereum and altcoins tend to have a bigger drop proportionate to Bitcoin. So that's my strategy. I'm also going to be following the price upward so that let's say I sell my Bitcoin at 39,500 and let's say that the Bitcoin price actually goes to 41,000 before reversing and correcting. I'm going to set my buy order at 30% drop from that high, not from where I sold it. So I am going to kind of follow the price up and create my sort of stop loss buy at a 30% drop from wherever it ends up going, because just because I sold at 39,500 doesn't mean that it's going to respect where I sold and go at a 30% drop from that point. I think I'm going to follow Bitcoin's history and do a 30% drop from the historical peaks and valleys of the bull run, which is about 30 to 35% drops. And again, just because it's been so long, we've climbed so steeply right now to where we are without a single correction, I think that that green flag is waving and it's saying, hey, you know what, we're getting very close. And you know, to be honest, I thought that we were going to see a correction $10,000 ago when the price was like around the $30,000 mark. So the fact that it's almost $40,000 is so far above where I thought it might correct, and you can never predict it perfectly, but it's so astronomically higher that I think it's a little silly to not at least try to play a fun game. I'll let you know how my little experiment goes. Let me know what you think about this. If you think I should have just held on to it and not messed around with the booms and busts during a bull market, again, I really do not recommend it. I'm only doing it with like 2% of my portfolio. I consider this kind of gambling play money, and I would not do it with a larger percentage of my portfolio because the risk does not outweigh the reward. The reward is so small, relatively speaking, especially when I'm only doing it with a small percentage of my portfolio, that I would much rather wait for the bull run anticipated gains that I'm thinking we're going to be seeing and wait for those. And I think that we're going to be seeing easily over 100,000, could be as high as 200 to 300,000 for Bitcoin price during this upcoming bull run. And so there's no sense in risking my potential gains at the peak by playing this little cat and mouse game right here on the way up. But like I said, it's fun, 2%, let's do it. Smash that like and I'll talk to you again soon, guys, and I'll let you know how my little experiment went. Keep in mind that this kind of a sell and buy could be as much as a 2-month-long time frame, so there'll be a little bit of time elapsing while I do this. Thanks and have a great day.